Here in my garage. I'm just kidding. What's going on, guys? So today's a little bit of another mod video for you guys, and non-performance mods for your Mustang that I think give it some character. Some of the mods in this video are totally my opinion, what I think the car, what makes the car look good, what makes it look better. Some of these are just general car health things and quality of life stuff. So let's get right on into it. Modification number 1 is a catch can for the Cyclone engine. It's on the passenger side. For the Coyotes, not really sure. Do the research there, but very easy. Honestly, easiest mod you could ever do. So here you can see right there are 2 clips on here. The hose normally looks like this. You literally just undo the clips. Here's one, same thing on the other side. Take it off, snap it on each side. All it really does is making sure that your engine stays clean. Any extra oil doesn't get in there that doesn't need to be there. So super basic mod. List for that part will be in the description, along with any other things I talk about in this video. Okay, modification number 2 is a front lip, front splitter. I think that the front lip makes Mustangs just look a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more sporty. A lot of them do cost an arm and a leg, I'm not gonna lie. However, I got this on eBay for about $120 or so. Good quality, haven't had issues. This is my 3rd one. The first one I had was like a 3-piece Roush knockoff, and it just wasn't secured correctly, and it ended up breaking and falling off and ripping off the whole under shield and everything. So I got away with that. Then I found this one, lasted me a good while. Then I drove it last winter and I hit a big chunk of snow in the road thinking, oh, it'll just go over it, no big deal. I saw this front splitter and it broke. So this is number 3, but again, so far so good. Drill some holes, use these puppies, and I've had no issues. So, and again, I think it gives the car a lot better look, and that's for any year Mustang. So that's mod number 2. Modification number 3 is a wing. Factory, these things come with just like a little bit of a hump there, and it's kind of pathetic, in my opinion. So I think just putting one of these on again makes it look sporty. The side profile looks good. I have the California Special one. I think it's the MP Concepts knockoff one. I'll leave a link in the description for that. But I've seen the Wicker Bills. A lot of these cars use the GT500. Whatever your preference is, I genuinely think it just makes the car look a lot better. So that's mod number 3. Okay, for mod number 4, this is for the base model Mustangs, specifically the 13s and 14s. A premium gauge cluster. My car came with a base cluster, and I really just wanted to upgrade it. So I found one on eBay, and they did the miles correction, and it was a super easy install. I just followed a video on YouTube. I'll leave that video in the description as well. And so far I love it. I mean, it's got my color options, so you can change all of that. You have the track apps, so you have the accelerometer, acceleration timer, brake performance, all of that stuff. You can go into your settings and go to vehicle, my color. Again, this is where you can change all your gauge cluster, your halo, your ambient light, all that stuff. I didn't upgrade the car enough to get the ambient lighting. I think that's your door sill. So for the premium models, you can get that installed, and that can change the color for that. But it also will help you tell fuel economy. That's always good to see. What else? Oh, and then of course some of the more important stuff, gauge details with your cylinder head temps, your inlet head temps, oil pressure, oil temperature, all of that jazz. So if you don't have one of those and you're in a base model, highly recommend it. I think mine ran me $300, but I've seen them go for a little bit cheaper. And again, install is super easy. If you do decide to install it, you do have to buy this part separate. That is an easy Motorcraft part. I got that off of Amazon, I think for like 40 or 50 bucks. Again, that's super easy, and I will leave that part in the description as well. But super worth it. Highly recommend you get that if you have a base model. Okay, for mod number 5, we have a Dynavin head unit for your stereo. Base models, I mean, it looks dated, right? It's pretty boring, pretty bland. It doesn't have anything, no screen, no Apple Play, no nothing. So to update the car, highly recommend you get one of these. I know they have there are a couple other brands. I know someone uses a Tesla screen, but I've heard that draws from the battery and has been killing the battery, so I'd be wary of that. They have the Amazon knockoff ones. Doesn't look as good in my opinion for that. So I just personally always recommend Dynamin. This is the N7 model, so it's a little bit older. Thank you. So this is a little bit older, but highly recommend changing out what you got in there and for, you know, a Dynamin here. And I think it's plug and play. Mine came with the car. I'm not gonna lie, so I'm a little spoiled with that, but pretty sure it's plug and play when I was looking at videos. Sixth and final modification for your Mustang is geared towards the automatic people, but also the manual guys. Stock shifters on the automatic look ugly. They're clumpy or they're clunky, and they don't look great, right? Manuals look a little bit better, but it could be better. So I found a company called White Badness Garage. Again, link to them is in the description. And they offer a automatic shifter kit that's super easy to install. Took me about 20 minutes to do. And it comes with all the tools you'll need. You pretty much just take off this whole center console here. This whole part comes off, and then there are 2 screws in into the shift knob that is covered by a silver part there. If you have the automatic, you know what I'm talking about. So once you remove that, you can unscrew the 2 screws, take that part off, take this guy, throw it on there, screw it back in, uses the same screws, and then put everything back together, and it's super easy. So they have various different models for this, for the ball up top here. You can even get things engraved. So I have a pony engraved here. I'm thinking about actually doing a custom one. Probably still have the pony, and then I'll have like the 3.7 on each of the sides. I know they offer that for the 5.0, but it's a small company out of Florida, and so far I've had no issues. I think I've had it for 3 years now. You can kind of see a little bit of cracking here, but it doesn't really affect the feel, and I kind of like the extra texture I get to feel to it. The only difference though with this is that you don't necessarily get the toggle switch. If you're in a 13 or 14, you don't get the toggle switch for the sport mode. I had to take my stock shifter and rip it out effectively. So I ripped it out, I snipped the wires, and then I spliced them back together, and then plugged it down in here, and then wrapped it up and or looped it up, wrapped it around here I think once, and then have it secure with my fiance scrunchie. I am working on designing a little bracket in a 3D CAD software to hold this and actually just get mounted straight to here, so that's part of the screw that's in here, so it doesn't, you know, look like this. But for the time being, I mean, I've had it like this for about a year, and it has had no issues. The only thing I've had a couple issues with is that sometimes the wires back here kind of break off, but I just solder those back on, and I have it covered with some electrical tape. But again, it's just a little something to spice up the interior, make it look a little bit different, and I like it a lot, and it gives it a nice little retro look as well. Okay, that concludes this video. I hope you found that this was informative, and you kind of got some ideas on how to mod your Mustang that don't include any power mods. If you are looking for some power mods, I have another video on my channel, and I'll leave it up here for you to go take a look at. So thank you guys so much for watching. If there are any mods that I missed that you like on your Mustang, leave them in the comments. I'd be happy to hear about them, and catch you in the next one. Deuces.